Okay, welcome to another episode of To Be Honest with Uncle Chris. Thank you for tuning in and listening. I hope you're all doing good and keeping safe, being responsible with your health and the decisions you make with regards to the global pandemic that the world is trying to manage. Try and keep your emotions in check, pay attention to your mental health, and find out things that inspire you, things that keep you active and alive. So, for example, I love listening to music and I love singing. So, occasionally, I just get myself to listen to good music and just sing along. And each time I do that, it helps me to relieve stress. So it's the same thing. For some of you, it might be reading, some of you might be writing, some of you might be some of those comedy skits we see online. But whatever it is, just keep that channel open, cultivate it, and make good use of it. And as I always say, God help us all. Amen. So today we'll continue on what we started about 2 weeks ago, cultivating psychological safety in the home. We talked about psychological safety in the home being a place where every member of the family believes that candor is welcome. So the atmosphere is peaceful, is respectful, is full of trust and understanding with love. Okay, and we did say that there's no perfect family on planet Earth today. Everybody is a work in progress. However, the attitude, the commitment that each member bring into whatever we're trying to build as a family is what we're focusing on. So we had asked the question last week, who's responsible for the psychological safety in the home? And we got some few feedbacks, which there's no wrong answer in things like this. Some said the dad, some said the mom, some said the parent, and we just concluded that everybody is involved. So the question wasn't who will lead. The question was who is responsible, and everybody is involved because, like we said, there are cases where parents had done everything right and the teenager just refused to reciprocate. While there are cases where the teenagers have done everything right and the parents just refuse to reciprocate. The same thing for the dad and the mom. So everybody is responsible for cultivating that atmosphere in the home where we believe that there's psychological safety in the home. My home is a place where I believe that I can be vulnerable and nobody in the family would take advantage of me. So today we're looking at how do we cultivate psychological safety in the home. I have some few suggestions here, and like I always say, it's not a one cap fit all. No. So there's some of you out there, my listeners, who have better suggestions, and I'll be glad to hear from you. Hook me up on any of my social media handles and send in those suggestions, and we'll air it as well and make reference to the fact that it came from you. All right. So here are my few suggestions that I have on my list, just about 4 of them. And the number one is this. I said, if you want to cultivate an atmosphere of psychological safety in the home, one of the things you first of all need to do is own your mistakes. So I wrote here, every member of the family should always be willing and ready to own their mistakes, starting from the father to the mother and the children. Own your mistakes. So I recall few occasions that I've had to apologize to my children and the effect it had in the atmosphere in the home, and also occasions where I've had to genuinely apologize to their mom, and when she's had to do the same. So if you want to cultivate a good psychological safety in the home, always own your mistakes. Don't make excuses for your mistake and sweep it under the carpet. No, own your mistakes and let people know you're sorry, and let them see the effort you are making to build back any broken bridge your mistake may have caused. And when I say own your mistake, it's not only the parents, that includes teenagers. So sometimes you are the one that made those mistakes. Don't just say you're sorry. After saying you're sorry, put in the effort to show that you were truly sorry and you are making it up to ensure that you don't repeat such mistake, and so that trust is restored and the family bond is renewed. This is not the time where in our days our parents hardly tell us they're sorry, but those days are gone, where you don't ask your parents, you don't tell them anything, you just obey and obey and obey and obey and obey. It makes you bottle a lot of things inside. We said psychological safety is an atmosphere where candor, truth, honesty, respect is present. The atmosphere, not only in one place, it's all over the room. So to achieve that, own your mistake. Every member of the family should own their mistake. Feedback, create and maintain a feedback channel that is seen to be safe and free for all to make use of, that has integrity. It's the responsibility of everybody. Yes, the father should lead, but it's the responsibility of everybody to ensure that the family has a feedback channel that has integrity and is safe for all to use. So whoever is on the hot seats, depending on the situation on ground, you are giving a feedback that no matter how unpalatable it may seem, you are served that feedback in an atmosphere of love and understanding, and you receive it and make amends, make adjustment according to it. You're not judged by it. So the pendulum can swing. Today might be the father receiving the feedback, tomorrow it might be the mother, another day might be one of the teenager or one of the kids in the house. But when the family understand that we have a feedback channel that we all commit to, that we all maintain its integrity, that would help the atmosphere in the home to grow in the area of trust, love, and understanding. And like I said earlier on, it's easier said than done, but my focus is in the attitude. If you put it in the attitude, where every time we have something, there's a channel that whoever is feeling left out can walk their position through, and they would be heard and reason along their line of thought, where whatever is being argued will be brought to some kind of conclusion. So it's a responsibility of everybody to create that feedback channel and maintain. All right, so number 3 I have on my list is ask the right questions and find common ground. Once again, the father leading, but everybody plays a part in this. So as a parent, you ask questions that would help bring every dissenting conversation to a logical conclusion. We're in interesting times. This generation are questioning everything. So for some people, you just take questioning as insulting. No, entertain questions, but be ready to answer them in the atmosphere, in an atmosphere of love. Because remember, our focus is in the home. Our focus is not on social media. Our focus is the psychological safety in the home. So when they bring in these questions, you need to create an atmosphere where they can ask these questions at home. It's safer where they ask these questions at home than when they're asking these questions outside. And how you react to these questions and how we deliberate on these questions are very important. If we take them as don't ask, don't tell, people will stop asking questions at home. And when they stop asking questions at home, they're asking those questions outside. You can't guarantee who they are asking those questions to. So if you want your home to be a home where psychological safety is present, number 3 I have here is ask the right questions and find common ground. Parents should make the effort, ensure that the atmosphere at home is one that entertains questions, and make effort to bring all dissenting conversation to a conclusion that is a win-win for all. It's very important. So things like the dad has to ground one of the kids for coming home late or not doing their homework. Questions around why did you come home late? Why didn't you do your homework should be asked. Then also the punishment that is about to be administered. Explain the reason why you are being punished and let the person endorse it to help prevent them from repeating those kind of behaviors. Then also sometimes when you want to punish child A for doing something, you do the punishment, you administer the punishment, then the next time child B is now guilty of the same thing, and you suddenly decide not to punish child B, and you don't explain to anybody why. You just use your authority as the father of the home and say, I'm not punishing. No, that will cause a crack. You need to explain why you are shifting the goalpost if you want to do that. And it's not a question of it's not an issue of someone is questioning your authority. No, we're trying to build a home where we want to believe that everyone buys into the fact that in this home, the atmosphere is one where psychological safety is present. We can air our views and it won't lead to any kind of rancor or crack in the family. Okay, and number 4 I have here is similar to number 1. I said be vulnerable and allow room for others to express themselves. It's similar to number 1 where I said own your mistakes. If you want others to be vulnerable in the family, you lead. And when I mean you, yes, I can make reference to the father, but I'm referring to you as in every member of the family. Remember the scenario we painted last week about an airplane that just took off from the ground. You have the pilot and his team in the cockpit. You have the air hostess or lead cabin crew and his or her team, and you have the passengers. So that's like the family structure. So everybody has a part to play to ensure that that flight is a smooth flight. It's a smooth flight because there's a way the pilot can ensure he manages the flight through the weather, the turbulence, the cabin crew do all they need to do, and one passenger is just troublesome throughout the flight. It will make the flight a memorable one with regards to it wasn't a sweet flight because there was a troublesome passenger. But if everybody plays their part, so what I'm saying here in point number 4, be vulnerable. You are a teenager in a family and you know you have issues you're dealing with. You can also tell that other people in the family are dealing with their issues and certain things you can help with, but you are concealing yours, but you want them to tell you theirs. If you want to create that atmosphere, everybody should understand that in this family we are okay to be vulnerable with each other. I remember once one of my daughter was involved in a competition in her school and she prepared so hard for it and she didn't win. When I heard the news, I knew I had to show up at her pickup location earlier. I came, I saw her, we talked, and I asked her how was her day. She said fine and all that. She put up a good face until when the moment we got into the car, we drove out from the school premises. My daughter started crying, and I knew because it was painful. I hugged her and I joined her in crying. I said, look, you're in a safe place, cry, and I'll cry with you because I understand your pain as well. I felt the pain as well. And I noticed that day our father-daughter relationship moved a step higher because she saw that my dad can be vulnerable just like me, and it helped our relationship. So like I said earlier on, I'm no reservoir of knowledge, and these are just 4 suggestions, and I believe there are a lot of you out there who have suggestions that can add to this number, especially the ones that you have tried and tested that worked very well for you. It's not one cap fit all, like I said earlier on. So please, I would appreciate it if you join, lend your voice, your experience, and add your suggestions. You can do this through any of my social media handle, Teen Mentor on Twitter, Chris Aluta on Facebook. The Chris is Chris with a K, TBH with Uncle Chris, one word, on Instagram, and Teen Mentor Daisy on YouTube. So until I come your way next time, please stay safe, stay strong, and God bless you. Bye-bye.